Yo, what's poppin', my people? It's your boy Crooks the Great, back at you guys with another banger of a UFC 5 video. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about a gameplay mechanic that was just released about UFC 5, and one thing that EA absolutely needs to do in order for UFC 5 to be considered successful and not to just crash and burn like some other games that we know about. But let's go ahead and get straight into it. Combat Sports or Combat Esports Media, shout out to JMMA and his crew over over there doing their thing on Twitter. They did release yesterday that you will only be able to throw one ground and pound elbow in UFC 5 before going back down into guard. Now, this really doesn't shock me because I played the beta, but for those of you guys that did not have beta access, this is absolutely true. You, at least from what I know, when I was playing the beta, I was only able to throw one elbow, I did notice, before going back down into guard. And I really don't know how I feel about this, to be quite honest with you. I don't like putting limitation on ground and pound strikes. I really don't, especially if you're postured up, because it's not easy to get a posture up on the ground. It's really not. People tend to camp the denials on those so as not to eat ground and pound damage, especially with the new grappling system or with the new damage system implemented into UFC 5. I don't really know how to feel about it, but I'm kind of leaning towards I don't really like it. I would like for them to allow people to elbow at minimum at least 2 to 3 times before you're able to posture down, because that's honestly what you're able to do with straights and hooks on the ground. So why wouldn't you be able to do that with elbows? So I would expect some pushback on this. And I, for one, am probably going to be one that actually does have a little bit of pushback on this, because I really do want elbows to actually be more of a thing on the ground. And I was really hoping that they would come back in UFC 5. And now that they're here, you should be able to throw at least 2 to 3 on the ground. But let me know in the comment section what you guys think about that. Do you guys like the one elbow? Do you guys wish there was more? And let me know how many you think should be able to be thrown before you posture back down. But with that being said, let's go ahead and jump into the second thing that I wanted to talk about on the video. And it kind of ties hand in hand with this elbow discussion that we're having. And that's EA. In order for UFC 5 to be a success, EA needs to listen to fan feedback. Now, let me say that again for the people in the back. The EA developers need to listen to player feedback, to fan feedback of their game. Because, you know, we've all been waiting for this game to come out. And we're the consumers, right? So if you want people to continuously buy your product, you need to listen to player feedback. And in order for UFC 5 to be successful in the entirety of the game, not just talking about the first month, not talking about the second month, the third month, for the entire 2 years that we're most likely going to be playing this game, if it is to be considered a success, the developers really need to pay attention to what the players are saying. And I'm not just saying that they need to take and do something about every little complaint. Because to be honest with you guys, there's a lot of people that just bitch to just bitch. They're going to complain. They're going to say, oh, the game's bad, just because they just don't like it. They bought the game just to say how bad it is. That's how crazy some consumers of UFC 5 are going to be. So, you know, you can't listen to everybody. But if a player is coming to comment on a video or comment on Operation Sports or commenting to one of the to one of the game changers about there being a problem in the game, it needs to be addressed as soon as possible. And I'm not going to sit here and try to sugarcoat it. The EA developers have not always been the best of listening to the community when it comes to exploitable things in the game. I mean, we're just now getting a very good nerf from what it sounds like to knee and elbows. And knee and elbows have been spammed since UFC 2. That's what, at least a solid 4 years 5 years of us waiting for EA to come out and nerf the knee and elbow spamming. So that's what I'm talking about. For those of you guys that were played UFC 3, when they first implemented the ankle pick, that was a brand new animation. For I think about the first 2 to 3 days, the ankle pick was very, very hard to deny. If you weren't pre-denying or you didn't know that the person was shooting for the ankle pick, you were going to get taken down. So it took them about a 2 to 3 day window for the ankle pick to be nerfed. And I mention that because that's the time frame it should take to fix exploits in the game. If there's something seriously bugged with UFC 5 when it drops, 2 to 3 days should be enough time to get a tuner ready to fix a really big issue with UFC 5. Honestly. And then other things like, cosmetics, because I know in UFC 4 people were talking about, Sean O'Malley's hair was really fucked up at the beginning of UFC 4. So he looked mad goofy. And it took them quite a bit of time to fix his hair. But things like that, cosmetics, player models, and all that stuff, those are things that can be, placed a little bit on the back burner because they can be placed on the back burner for gameplay issues. I really want to see them hunker down on fixing the game in the first 6 months, because that is the most crucial time. For those of you guys that don't know this, UFC 5 in terms of fixing the game is going to have about a year to a year and a half time frame to fix the game, where they're going to drop big patches that are going to shape the course of the game. And then after that, they're going to be getting prepped up to get ready to work on UFC 6. So we have about a year to a year and a half to fix the problems that we're going to see in UFC 5. So that's why I'm saying it is of the utmost importance that if EA wants this game to be successful and to be viewed as a success, not only in their eyes, but in the eyes of the community, they must listen to player feedback. But on the other hand too, we as players and we as a community need to do a better job of voicing our frustrations and voicing our concerns in a more respectful manner. Not just coming out and saying, hey, you know what? This game fucking sucks, devs. I'm not going to buy it. Like, that doesn't help, ladies and gentlemen. It doesn't help your cause, man. You got to tell them, hey, this is what I think is wrong with the game, and I need you to come up with a solution on how to fix it. If you're able to come up with a solution on your own, to be like, hey, you know what? Like with me, with UFC 4 with the knees and elbows, I would say, hey, I hate knee and elbow spamming, so maybe extend the frames out on the knee so that way we can make them more reactable. There's a problem. I stated the problem, and here's the solution. Be part of the solution. We can't just be picking out problems and not be trying to be part of the solution. You know what I mean? So we as a community need to do a little bit of a better job being a part of the solution. And we also have to remember, although these guys do work for EA and it's their job to make the game, this is their job. And they deserve a level of respect as well, like they should respect us. It's their job to make a great game. I get that. But that doesn't mean that you could disrespect them, bro. I mean, a majority of the people that play this game have 9-to-5 jobs. You want somebody to come in and disrespect you at your job, and then you want to do what they're asking you to do? That's not going to happen, bro. These guys are human. So cut them some breaks a little bit, be respectful. Even if they're taking a longer time than you would like to adjust what you're talking about, give them some time to get it done. But on the other hand, the devs actually need to listen and adjust the game accordingly to what players are saying. But that's it for the video, guys. If you guys did enjoy this video, make sure to slap that subscribe button as well as slap that like button. And please, please, please drop a comment in the comment section and let me know what you guys think about this video. Let me know what you guys think about the elbows, and let me know what you guys thought about what I said about the developers listening to the player base. Let me know. Do you guys think it's important? Do you guys think it's going to happen? Do you guys think it's not going to happen? And how crucial do you think it is to the success of UFC 5 that the developers listen to the player base? I want to hear all the feedback. And of course, like usual, if I don't get to your comment in terms of being able to comment to it back, I will at least like it to let you know that I have read it. But make sure your guys' post notifications are turned on too, because I'm going to be dropping a lot of UFC 5 content leading up to the release of UFC 5 at the end of October. But until then, guys, take it easy, be safe, enjoy the rest of your guys' day, afternoon, evening, depending on where you guys are watching this from. And I will see you guys in the next video.